start with this. Let's have a conversation about the back four. If it was the biggest game of the season, let's say it's a cup final, Champions League final, yeah. Who is everyone's fit. Let me make that premise. Everyone's fit. All the backlines fit. What is the strongest backline to face the match at the Champions League final for you? If you're the manager, who are you picking? This is a game of death here. Who's your backline, Sharoy, and why?
I don't think you can drop Ben White at this stage. I know that Timber is a very, very accomplished right centre-back, right back, but I honestly think that Ben White right now has made himself indispensable to this team. Do we really have to have a conversation about Saliba Gabriel?
No.
Nah.
So you're looking at left back. And one thing I will say about Zinchenko, all right? I'm looking at him in pre-season, and it seems as though even he now knows, and Arteta now knows, that there are going to be defensive frailties when you pick Zinchenko. So he absolutely has to make his presence felt going forward. And it seems as though he's taken that on board. But that kind of player, if you're in a Champions League final, I mean, think about who he could be up against if you're playing Real Madrid.
Hey.
You can't start Zinchenko there. So all I look at left back now, Calafiori's come in.
Unknown quantity right now.
And what is the price tag on that player? That has to be your starting left back because of the amount that we paid for him.
Has to, yeah?
In my opinion, the amount that we paid for him, the fact that was the only arguable frailty in our defence last year, and the fact that he's come in as the first signing of this transfer window, that's my back four.
But you don't know what he looks like in that back four at this moment in time. You've seen him playing
Who
with
are the
other
other
teams.
options?
You could put a Tomiyasu there, who you know can be defensively sound. I know he's out of position, but that's someone you could consider putting there. You could even put Timber there. I know again he's more suited to right back, but you could. Listen, this is going to be your. Yeah. I'm going to let you. Are you going to stick? Yeah. Are you sticking with a Calafiori left back with a Ben White right back?
If you're talking about Champions League final, I'm assuming that we're looking at the end of the season, all right? And I think by that point, Calafiori is going to be nailed on in terms of that in that back four.
But now, if the game's tomorrow, Champions League final is tomorrow, and you need a back four that
then Tomiyasu's injured. If we're talking about right now, Tomiyasu's not in the squad, so let's not bring him up. Do you know what I mean? And he may well be.
Are you smart? But I didn't say at the beginning, if everyone is fit,
okay,
who are you putting in there? Calafiori left back for me right now, from what we know, I think it's quite crazy, but it's not crazy. That's your opinion. I understand. He's been brought for a reason. Arteta, we trust in him. There's a reason why he's here, so he must be at the level. But if we're playing Champions League final tomorrow, that's going to be your back line. I'm going to go over it again. So Ben White right back, Gabriel and Saliba, or Saliba and Gabriel, and then a Calafiori left back.
I think so.
David Raya in goal. I know that's the back five, but David Raya in goal, just to confirm.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're talking about athleticism, physical presence, having competed at international tournaments, for example, and an age whereby you're looking at a team that can grow and play together for the next 3, 4, 5 years if you get that right, bro, that instills a lot of confidence in me. I can't imagine that many forwards and other teams would be looking at that back four and that goalkeeper, arguably with a Rice in front of them and saying, yeah, we're going to have fun today. They're not going to be thinking that at all. That's a tough day's work.
Tough day at the office. Turkish, your back four. If we're playing Champions League final tomorrow, strongest one. Everyone's fit.
Probably 100% Ben White. Ben White, in my opinion, best right back in the league last season, top 2 the season before. So his progression has been crazy at right back.
Do you not see Timber potentially overtaking Ben White this season? Is there no thought of that for both of you?
He'll have to be exceptional if he does, which is good for Arsenal.
Yeah, let me finish the back four and then ask. Because Ben White is 100%, Saliba 100%. At this moment in time, Gabriel 100%, and Timber 100% would be left back. Because from the early things I've seen from Timber, and even before Arsenal, I seen a lot more of Timber than I did or have of Calafiori.
Yeah.
And I've liked what I've seen prior to Arsenal and the brief minutes he's had at Arsenal since coming in, either side of this big injury. And also, when I look at Turkey this Euros and I look at what Guardiola did, and I think Guardiola is kind of like a very like-for-like player with Timber. He is a natural left back, but he's right-footed. And so there's different types of I think Cancelo was one of the first few that would, start at one side, but his stronger foot is the other side, and, he'd invert in that way. So I think the way Guardiola done it for Turkey in the summer, the way Timber's done it in his brief minutes at Arsenal from that left-back position, I think why not? I don't know enough of Calafiori, but I would say that Gabriel's 100% now, but if the hype about Calafiori is real, I think there's more potential he slots in next to Saliba long term, because I just feel like Arteta likes this inverting fullback, and when you think how good Timber is at it, You know, I think that is the...
And you made a very, very good point. I can't remember what stream it was on, but you said that notion that Gabriel may have had his head turned at the beginning of last year, which is why he didn't make the match day squad. At that point, if someone does have their head turned, you do want a succession plan to some extent. And that might be why Calafiori's come in with maybe one eye on Gabriel having his head turned again at the end of the year. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Because I don't know... Zinchenko's not really a left back, people say, you know, he's more a midfielder. Cool, I get that. Timber's not a left back. You know, he's more a centre back, right back than that. And Calafiori, people are saying it's a mix between left centre back and left back. So there's a lot of question marks on where these players can and how they're going to fit in. So we know what Arteta's gone for: flexible players across the back line. You know, we've got essentially 6-7 defenders that can play in all of the positions across the back line if necessary. So I just like Timber's profile, and I think you've got to get him in there. And I also look at Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel tucking in as a back three, very solid. Ben White, Saliba, Calafiori tucking in as a back three, very solid. And who's our best attacking fullback or attacking defender?
No.
Probably Timber from what we've seen. Well, Zinchenko in that department's there, but there has to be a balance there between.
And Ben White is also exceptional.
That's also true.
But the fact that this is a conversation, but you're not getting away with it either. We haven't heard your thought yet. But the fact that this is a conversation, and we're also talking about players like Timber, White, and Calafiori who could slot in at centre back if required. Bro, this defence has come on so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Does that scare you in the tunnel? That I'm gonna go with your one: Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori. Do you look at them? I don't know. I look at them. They're very tall, imposing, and definitely, you know, physical and whatnot. But when I look at them, they still look like nice guys. But I know on the pitch you don't get through them.
You're moving into the aura thing. Yeah. I'm gonna cut you right there. Yeah. You know what scares? What scares people in the tunnel? A team of champions, a team of winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to be 6'4" to be scary when you know you've won stuff and you've been integral to that, and you're. You know, that's the fear factor, not aura. Doesn't matter about long hair, doesn't matter about height, it doesn't matter about width of chest. What matters in that tunnel is, are you coming up against champions, or are you coming up against bottlers, or are you coming up against, you know, these things matter. So, you know, let's hope we're champions and teams are coming up against that, and we're talking more about that than aura next summer.
Yeah, it's funny because Turkish obviously off camera was checking the cameras like, hey, the aura's nice today.
Nah, the camera, listen.
He said I'm looking good, but aura's good today. That's what saying off camera.
There's a new lens there. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, right, the lens is bringing out the best of me. So
the aura's orange.
Why not appreciate sometimes?
I
appreciate it to myself though. I'm not out there.
That's true. You're not online saying.
Yeah. Did you see the comment on the last video saying Cecil definitely wakes up, looks in the mirror, and says aura every morning? And a lot of people like that. And to be honest, I liked it.
I don't do that.
It's well within your realms to do something like that.
If anyone wants evidence, go and look at the Instagram story that you uploaded when he woke up today.
I was gassed today. Energy, top off.
No shirt.
Come on. We're back. Anyway, let me just quickly run through the back four before we kick off this game that I would go with. It's the same as Turkish, if I'm honest. Ben White, right back. Saliba and Gabriel, centre back pairings, and Timber as well. I've seen enough to say he's ready. But